Setting up SSH. Hey, back here with another video. We'll be setting up SSH and connecting it or testing the connection with our GitHub. Okay, let's get started. For this video, as a prerequisite, we'll require a GitHub account. If you don't have a GitHub account, you can go to github.com, click the sign up button, fill out the form, create an account, verify your email, and you should be all ready to go. In a previous video, we already generated a SSH key. Now, if you haven't done that, you can do that by doing SSH-keygen. Typically, you only want one, but there are circumstances where maybe you have several, like a personal one for work, one for a specific client. That type of circumstance. Okay, so I'm going to create a second one. And I'm going to grab this. And I'll call it client. And type in a passphrase. Okay, so now I have a second one. Now they save them into this .ssh. So if I cd into I'm doing a list. Okay, so this one was created before, and this is what we just created just now. All right, now let's go and create a config file. So nano config. And what we need to do here is we need to create a host. And we'll add a key to agent. Yes. Use keychain. Create a host for GitHub. And host name. User git. Identity. And we need the file. We'll do ID RSA. And keys only yes. Okay, hopefully, I think this is wow. Okay, so I think that's right. Let's review it a little bit. That looks correct. If not, then we'll get an error and we'll have to go and fix it. Okay, let's save that. Control X, Y, enter. Okay, let's clear that. Let's add our key to the agent. Now you can do that by doing SSH-add. And then add our passcode or password. Okay, so that added it. Now we can check by doing SSH-add-L, and it should give us our key here. It's been added. You can also get this, and it'll give us our public key. And you can also do this pb copy and the list of our public key. And this will copy it to our clipboard. Okay, now we need to go back into GitHub. Go into settings, SSH key, and new SSH key. And I'll call this web dev desktop. And I'll paste that in there. Now, how we can do it is SSH-add, SSH-T. And we can do GitHub. And it's permanently add our host to this list known. Hi, web dev, you've successfully authenticated, but it does not provide shell access. Okay, so we can do that again. Let's test it out. And we've successfully connected. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show with this SSH key. Now let's go into config. I just want to show one more thing. So I wanted to show what you would do for your client if you had a secondary GitHub. Now we go down here, copy and paste that. We reference our other key. So this one is client. And we rename this part. So let's say just GH. Typically, when you're connecting to this one, you do git clone. So if we were cloning the GitHub, we do github.com account and project. So wherever the link is for that project. For this one, if you want to use this account, you do that and you would change this to GH client. Typically, the one that you would use most, you would use it for this one, because when you're copying and pasting, most of GitHub's URLs are using this github.com. It just makes it so it's easier, so you're not always having to change this, which gets kind of tiring and cumbersome. Now, let's say you want to set up your own server. So host, let me just grab this. So we're going to use this key again. And you would name it, okay, my CWC. And you can name it anything, my server, my client, my SSH server, my web server, whatever it is. And you give it the host name. Say it's ssh.example.com. Maybe the user that I use to log in is CWC for this server. You use this file again. And if the port is different, like if the port was 111 or 2222 or 8888, no, probably not 888, 7777. By default is 22. Okay, so let's pretend this one has the default 22. You save that. You do the same thing where you add the agent and set that all up on the other server. To connect, you would do SSH my CWC. I'd just like to add that you shouldn't be sharing your SSH key. I don't think I was very clear or emphasized that point as we were going through the video. Now, this is the public key, so that's okay because you're providing it on other servers for it to pair up with your actual key. But this here should not be shared with anybody, neither should any of these as well. So I just wanted to make that clear that you guys aren't doing that. And if you put in your passphrase as well, that's a secondary password for security. But again, you shouldn't be sharing these at all. So that's all I really wanted to cover in this video. In the next video, we'll actually create a repository on our GitHub account and kind of set that up. So I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the content so far. If you have any questions or feedback, please leave a comment down below. To stay updated with the latest content from the channel, you can subscribe by clicking right here in the middle.